camera's on the maximum distance away, like zoom out, and it still can't cover the whole thing. This is what they consider a medium. And it goes up to an XL. I just felt like eating pizza today. So today, I'm going to be telling you some more college stories. This pizza came straight out of the oven. So I'm sorry if you hear my visceral seething. So, I'm going to tell you guys about the time a professor ruined my entire winter break. So, it's my senior year of college, and the senior year for my grade at least is very stressful. Not great. I meant major. Because we have a class that if you don't pass the first time, you're most likely not going to graduate on time. I did a previous story time where I talked about how I failed the class 3 times, like really but not really. You'll have to go and see it. But the class's name is Intro to Algorithms. And one big thing about this class is that it is a class where there is no grade scale, and I'll explain that. So by grade scale, I don't mean like a 95 is an A or anything like that. The grade scale is dependent on how bad the class did as an average is how you're graded. And on average, the class average is a 50, which is an F. But they curve it in a way where if you got a 50, it's a C, and anything above it, you know, your grade get progressively essentially, I came into the class very optimistic because this is the fall semester before I graduate. I was a bit naive, but I believed in myself. Because I always felt better with computational theory than programming. It's just something that I've always felt better at in my major. And to show how difficult this class is, the teacher had two methods in which he didn't count attendance. You either watch the lectures on your computer at home or go into the lecture hall. In the past semesters, when he did it a certain way, there were a larger number of people failing that he decided, you know what, I'm going to cater to my students instead of doing it the way that I usually prefer it. So that's how he chose to do it with us. The grade scale was the following. We had 3 exams that accounted for 70% of our grade, and the rest of the 30% was homework. So the class, in a non-computational way, is, I don't know if you guys remember doing geometry proofs in high school or something like that. So it is essentially geometry proofs ramped up to 11 and replace all the math with computational stuff. An example I can think of is, given a set of numbers, prove that these numbers are in an MP proof, or this set of order MP proof. All you really need to know is that MP proof is basically the backbone of this class. It's the same feeling as congruent in geometry. So I study, and they even allow you to work with groups, and you can do group homework. So our group was kind of just average. We averaged like a C on the homework. So I expected to go into the exam getting a C or better. I would say about 3 weeks passed. And the grades went up for the exam. just dropped. Because I got an F. And this is with the curve. So that means that 32% of my grade right now is an F. And sure, I did homework, but it's minuscule compared to that 30% at the point. But I couldn't drop the class. I'll be giving up. So I kept pushing. So I didn't go to my professor or talk. I just decided, you know what? I gotta ball up and just do better. But some problems arose. My homework group ended up dropping me for someone else who did much worse than me. I admit I was angry, but I forgave him. But I ended up getting like this wizard of a guy. His name was Zach, and if not for Zach, I don't know how I would have passed that class. Ironically, Zach had the best grade in the class, and I was just kind of like one of the worst. So, basically every time we did homework, it felt like I was being tutored. My homework grade started going up because Zach would be carrying me. And the second exam came around, and I remember it was snowing, and I just got very emotional because I knew that if I didn't do well on this exam, well, it was over. Took the exam, and 3 weeks later I got my scores back. And I got a C. So now, my grade in the class is a D, and a D in college is passing. And since it's my last semester, my goal was just to pass. I didn't care what my grade was. So, now the final is coming up. And I studied my absolute heart out for that exam. I had to blow off friends. I didn't play video games or anything like that. Every day I just those 4 or 5 months was like the top 5 stressful times of my life. And the day of the exam came. The day of the exam came, and there was a stipulation that I hadn't encountered before in my life. There is a multiple choice section, a free answered section, and a essay, well, proof section. And one thing that I hadn't anticipated was that the multiple choice, essentially, there was a system that doesn't make sense and also makes sense. I'll explain. Essentially, if you got the question wrong, that was -1. If you got the question right, that's +1. But if you wrote I don't know, you got 0. You didn't get any points taken away from you. So if you really didn't feel confident in something, it was better to put I don't know than to try and answer it incorrectly. To show how scary that is. If there were 50 questions and you got 25 right and 25 wrong, like you tried to answer it and you got it wrong, you got a 0 for that section, not a 50%. But I did my best. So whenever I got to a section that I wasn't comfortable with, I just put I don't know. But I knew there's a point in time where I felt like I was kind of hurting myself because I wasn't gaining any points, so I was losing points. But regardless, I had studied so much that the short response in the proof section wasn't even that bad. And I took my exam, I left out, and I went home for winter break. And this is where my professor ruined my winter break. Because I want you to remember that this is my last semester going into it. So I wanted to know if I passed or failed the class. He did not upgrade scores until 2 days, guys. 2 days before I went back to school. I was a wreck that winter because I didn't want to hang out. I didn't want to, do anything because I didn't even know if I passed. I just say, you know what, no, I'm not going to do that. I vividly remember when he updated the grades. I was over at my grandpa's house, and I was coming back, and I saw a notification from the site where he uploads the final exam grades. And I got a D on my final exam. But now, it's like I have 2 days to actually enjoy my winter break, and it's just like, I wasn't getting much done, you know? But I passed, so that's all that matters. But okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you all for the support. We're really close to 200 subscribers, and I'm thankful for you guys, truly. So I'm going to see you guys in the next one. I know this is a long video,